Welcome back, everybody, to the Georgia Manufacturing Success in Georgia book tour. My name is Jason Moss, and I'm author of the book, and we have been traveling around the state of Georgia visiting with several of the companies and the people that were mentioned in the book. Today, we're really excited to be here at Bobby Dodd Institute. This morning, we took a small group of folks in for a tour of this facility to learn a little bit more about what they do. And really excited to have Joe Paolini with us. He was, when we were putting the book together, we had a little delay because of COVID. Imagine that, yeah, me and everybody else in the world. But what happened was I reached out to our friends in the Georgia Manufacturing Alliance community, and I told them, I said, we're going to do a little drawing, and we're going to have people submit articles about how they worked through COVID, some of the good, bad, and ugly about what happened in the COVID world and how it impacted their business. And Joe submitted an article, and I'm really excited to share with you that his was one of them that were selected, and it's in chapter 11. So look it up, Joe Paolini at Bobby Dodd Institute. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn this over to Joe. I want him to introduce himself, tell a little bit about his background, who he is, and where he came from. So Joe, if you would, tell us a little bit, what's your role here at Bobby Dodd, and tell us a little bit about yourself.
Sure. So my name's Joe Paolini. I'm the Director of Business Engagement here at Bobby Dodd Institute in Atlanta. Came to the company about 7 years ago now. My background is heavy in food service and hospitality. Used to do corporate training and run restaurants for Brinker International, which at that point owned Chili's as well as On the Border restaurants. Did that over in Phoenix, Arizona, where I lived for 12 years. Moved out here to Georgia in the Marietta. Decided I wanted a little bit of change of pace career-wise, and got connected with the Bobby Dodd Institute. And the mission here of helping people with disabilities and connecting them to programs and services as well as work really spoke to me and just filled in a different part of kind of my heart and soul, and got some good fulfillment out of the job. And I've been here ever since.
Okay, perfect. Well, I tell you, we had the opportunity to tour your facility. I've been out here a couple times, and I love to see the passion that you guys have about serving the community. Can you tell us a little bit more about what the role is, what you do out here? What's
Sure.
the impact you have in the community?
So that's a long answer, because we do quite a bit. And I like to joke around that we're Atlanta's best kept secret. And we kind of approach things in two different ways. We have an empowerment side of our company, which focuses on programs and services, benefits navigation. Then we have the employment side of our company, which focuses on workforce development through our state and local partners, as well as providing business services that we can use to generate revenue to fund back into our empowerment side. So I'll go a little bit more into that if you'd like on the empowerment side. We do a lot with benefits navigation. We have a very qualified team that can help individuals or families of people with disabilities to help navigate a lot of kind of the red tape and the process of getting involved with either SSI or Medicaid or SSDI.
Okay.
And we've had a lot of success in shortening those windows. So if you're applying for governmental benefits, sometimes the wait time, once you figure out where to go, can be 12 to 18 months. And we're able to shrink that down to a substantially smaller amount of time to help people get their benefits in a quicker manner.
Okay. That's a big benefit.
It is, especially nowadays. And we have a couple other programs that we do, intensive family support, where we're able to go into people's homes and help them with their different life situations. We also operate a special needs pooled trust called the Georgia Community Trust, where family members or people who are close to those individuals with disabilities, where they can invest money, and it's separate doesn't interact with their governmental benefits, so they don't have any chance of losing their benefits on that end, and it provides them some financial stability for the future as they get older.
Okay. Good deal. Good deal.
And then on the employment side, the business services side, there's a couple different things that go into that. We operate different lines of businesses to provide a valuable resource to the community, but also we're able to use that as a training facilities to hire individuals to work on our work sites, and then provide that valuable resource to the community. So where we focus on right now is our facility services, which is janitorial, landscaping that we can do throughout the Southeast. We also operate call centers. We have a 60-person call center here in College Park that we operate with a partner of ours out of Detroit, Michigan, called J&B Medical, where we do tiered customer service tiered customer service representatives for them.
Okay.
We also operate some military bases for some call center activity, Fort Eglin out of Florida, and then Fort Benning here in Georgia as well.
Okay, perfect.
Yep.
Well, what's got the connection? I mean, people might be wondering what's the connection with Georgia Manufacturing Alliance and the book and manufacturing,
Sure.
all in all. So what's the connection here?
Yeah, so we started really getting connected just right before the pandemic, honestly.
Okay.
We had been a member of GMA for a couple of years, but really didn't do too much with it. I think we had gone on some tours and did some stuff, but when the pandemic hit, GMA kind of filled in a really good gap of knowledge building and resource collecting and networking. So that's really when I decided that, hey, I'm gonna start using the money that we're spending on this and get involved a little bit more. And going through the networking and attending the tours when they opened back up the face-to-face and doing all the virtual network, it's really paid off nice for us. We've made some great connections. And we've been able to use this opportunity to really help develop kind of an educational platform for the business community that is associated with GMA.
Okay.
That's been beneficial for us, I think, and also hopefully for the community as well.
Okay, good deal.
Yeah.
Well, I tell you, there's so many different things you can talk about in the manufacturing space and the relationships, but there's one in particular that I'd like you to share a little bit about, maybe a new products and that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about what that looks like.
So, as it pertains mostly to the manufacturing community, there's a couple things that we have which are really beneficial. Number one is we have 2 warehouses here in the metro Atlanta area. Where we do kitting, fulfillment, some light 3PL work and storage. We have a 50,000 square foot climate control facility here in Atlanta, and we have another about 12 or 15,000 square foot facility in Jonesboro.
Okay.
And we're able to use the kitting and fulfillment work that comes in as an opportunity to hire people with disabilities, and also as a training facility. So any of our state partners that refer individuals with disability over to us are able to train right in our warehouse and get some quality training that we can then tie it back into the commercial world and provide valuable candidates for the jobs that are opening. Through the pandemic, we, going into the pandemic, there was a shortage of a lot of PPE items, but sanitizer was one of the big ones. And
Right.
we operate about 50 custodial contracts throughout the Southeast, and those are essential workers, especially the ones that work on government sites, and they needed to be at work the entire time and be able to work in a safe environment. And we were having issues sourcing hand sanitizer, as was everybody else at that time. So I actually went into one of the GMA calls looking for hand sanitizer, and some of our good friends at J&S Chemical were on the same call, and they do machine die casting and machine lubricants is part of their core business, but they were switching over to make hand sanitizer at that point, and they had the capabilities of producing thousands and thousands of gallons at a time, and they had a solid global supply chain to get the kind of the best raw materials possible to make it happen. So we connected with them on a GMA tour. We were messing with the recipe and messing with the bottling and the branding, but long story short, through the summer of 2020, we were able to save some jobs by turning around and bottling hand sanitizer. We were able to get it out to our community at a good cost, because at that time there was a lot of price gouging going on.
Yeah.
And really just provide a valuable resource for the community and for the individuals that we serve. And you take that, and the summer went through, and kind of during the fall, the supply chain caught up a little bit on that end. And we decided that this could be something we do for the future. And we really put some effort into making sure we're following the right steps with FDA compliance and getting our facilities registered and the product registered, and really taken some time with the help of J&S Chemical and the involvement of some of our board members, develop a brand and a label. And fast forward to today, and now we're in the part where we're actually developing the sales pipeline. So it's been a fun experience that has been valuable learning experience for us, but also a valuable resource for the community, I hope, down the line.
Very cool. Well, tell us a little bit about the product and the brand. Are you ready to roll that out, make any kind of announcements on what it is and how people can participate?
Yeah, absolutely. So if you go to sanitizewithpurpose.org, that is the website that we, the domain that we've come up with for this. Sanitizewithpurpose.org. And you'll see the whole background of the story between us and what we do and J&S Chemical and how we've been able to link together through GMA, and it has a little history of where we've come over the past year. And we handle all the bottling here out of our facility in Atlanta. So we have a little pneumatic pump, and kind of just like a beer tap, you just turn the spigot on and it comes right out, and you get yourself a bottle of hand sanitizer, and we do the labeling and capping and packaging all here out of our facility at BDI. And we're fortunate that this is something, it's all from Georgia. So the sanitizer is manufactured here in Georgia. The labels come from Georgia. It's packaged here in Georgia. So it's a true Georgia product, and we're real proud of that for the community.
Very cool. Well, tell me a little bit about the branding, Sanitize with a Purpose.
Right.
So what does that connect to, and why does that make it different out on the market? There's lots of different hand sanitizers are out there, and I think we as a nation have probably grown accustomed to using it. Now we've kind of got into the habit. I don't know that the hand sanitizer will disappear off the planet in the next few months. So tell us a little bit about what makes it different.
Sure. So the difference is that all of the revenue that's generated from it and the profits that are generated go right back into funding our programs and service. Which is unique because if we were just going to try to compete with the big boys on selling hand sanitizer, we wouldn't make it out the door. So being able to establish a good initiative and social responsibility around this project was really important to us from the beginning. But this product is different in the fact, from a quality standpoint, is the guys at J&S Chemical and all the manufacturing that they do, they take very great pride in putting out the very best product that they can. So they don't skip any steps, they don't take any shortcuts. They have a full quality management chemistry lab right there on property where this product has been tested and QC'd all the way through. And when you try it and when you use it for the first time, you can tell a big difference in some of the stuff that's on the market now versus our product. It does not leave your hands sticky or with a film on it. It's a nice soft feel, and it doesn't leave kind of that alcohol stench on your hands afterwards. So we're really happy with how the actual product has turned out and with the messaging behind it, because that's the most important thing is being able to provide jobs for people with disabilities around this, as well as use the money that's raised from it to support our programs and services.
Very cool. I tell you, it's neat to see how companies come together to fill a need. Now, this product's going to be competitively priced in the marketplace, right? So it's going to be competitively priced. It is socially, the social impact is huge. And I got the opportunity to talk with Thomas. Now Thomas Smith is my primary contact at J&S Chemical, and it has been fun really learning about what his transition as a manufacturer, going from making chemicals that were used primarily in the industrial community and industrial manufacturing to hand sanitizer. I'll never forget the phone call when we got off one of these calls and got this phone call from a guy that said, "Hey man, we need some assistance. We're thinking about converting, going from what we primarily manufacture in chemicals to, we're looking at doing hand sanitizer." Now I had gotten literally hundreds of calls about people that were converting, trying to figure out how they could serve the business community and the overall population with PPE. And this was one of many calls, but he was pretty adamant. And he said we need some help with some packaging and bottling. Do you know anybody? And you guys came to mind. And so I said, so what kind of containers do you have? He he said, well, the smallest thing that we can package is about a 55-gallon drum.
Yep.
And I thought, well, maybe we probably need to bring some folks in on that and figure out a way to get that back out in the community. So it's been a really cool success story, not just for Bobby Dodd, but for J&S Chemical, because now, there's this whole new line that they've been able to supply that kind of helps balance out some of the ebbs and flows in the industrial space.
Yep. And it's been a learning process for all of us, because we are not typically a sales organization on our end, so we had to learn about the packaging end of it, and the supply chain issues, from everything from just getting the actual bottles, the empty bottles to fill, to the packing supplies and the corrugated boxes, because all of those different items were hard to get, or they were very expensive at certain times over the past year.
So trying to figure out the supply chain, that's been another big thing. It's neat to see the new relationships that have been formed and the opportunities that have shown up. So many times people think about COVID as, the negative impact, and it has been, no question. It's been impacted people in a lot of different ways, but when you're able to turn it and see the positive, the good things that have come from it, that's one of the things I love, surrounded myself with people that's what they look for. And in the manufacturing community, you got to be flexible, man, to be able to survive.
And it's a valuable exercise to build your knowledge base, no matter what, for us, because it's made us better business partners with the other organizations. And it's put us into an environment where we need to be a little bit more creative, which we've been able to do, which is going to benefit us down the line, because now we can take on different types of job opportunities. We have a little bit stronger knowledge base of the supply chain management area, and it'll benefit us even further down the line also.
Yeah, I tell you, and for me, looking at it across the board, being able to give more grace to people.
Yep.
You don't really know where things are at. By going through this, had it not been for COVID, we probably wouldn't be sitting in this RV talking, getting the book finished and doing the tour and having these conversations. So I'm thankful for where we're at now, but I'm really excited to see where we're going in the future. So tell me a little bit about what you see as far as Bobby Dodd. What are some of your targets? Where are you going? Sure. I know this product launch and being able to get this tangible product in the marketplace is a big piece. Yep. So any of you guys out there that are interested in helping support that, go to sanitizewithamission.
Sanitize with purpose.
Sanitize with a purpose. Ooh, fix
or you
that.
Just find me on LinkedIn. The two will work out good.
Track it down. And help support the cause for sure. So, but what are some of the other things that you guys are thinking about doing or planning to do here at Bobby Dodd?
Right. One of the key parts for our future is trying to understand how to get people with disabilities into higher wage jobs so that they can be financially sustainable for their entire career and start generating income and wealth to fully live their lives. We've been really good as a nonprofit community of connecting people to the kind of the lower wage, part-time hourly positions. But the future for us is really figuring out, the industries and the knowledge base that people need to get into for the next 5, 10, 15 years. Call centers is a big space that we're looking to expand into over the next couple of years, and all of the training in the call center space is huge. But what trainings are valuable? What do employers find valuable when they hire employees? IT is obviously a big one. And in the IT space, you look at QA. And you look at software development, and these are all positions that people with disabilities have just a great acumen for. Right. And it's connecting the dots, so to speak, with the employers, the educational institutions, and then for BDI to facilitate that pipeline down the road. And that's a big part for us, as well as expanding our warehouse operations and providing those training sites to get because not only is the knowledge base and the education important, but having soft skills and understanding what people are going to be capable of and having realistic expectations is key. And being able to start somewhere is important for people.
Right. Well, we've talked about disabilities a couple of different times. I mean, we've mentioned that. Of course, that's kind of a core component of what you guys do. Yeah. Can you share with us a little bit about disabilities? Because I know that for everybody, automatically it throws up flags or thoughts or directions, what people think about disabilities.
Right.
And that's one of the things I'm thankful for you to help kind of walk me through that. But if you'd share with some of our folks, what's disability? Tell us, frame that up for us.
It can be a wide variety of things. There's physical disabilities, which are visible. Sometimes there's physical disabilities that aren't visible and not apparent. You have intellectual disabilities. You can have sight loss or hearing loss. There's a wide range that we cover, and I'm certainly no medical expert, and I'm not one that has stats, coming out of my mouth all the time. But I will say, from our experience and what I've seen in some of the reporting out there, is there's a significant portion of the workforce that has a disability. And what's really scary is a significant portion that won't disclose that they have a disability for fear of the stereotype, or that it might hold them back in some way for future promotion considerations or salary considerations. And really on our end, we really just try to educate, because people with disabilities from the whole spectrum, they can contribute to a positive culture within an organization. And it's important that the leaders and decision makers in organizations understand that and be able to filter that information down to the hiring managers at the end of the day.
Right, and that's another area I think that you guys do a fantastic job in, is helping the employers really better understand what a disability is, how to work with it, how it impacts, and how it can be a benefit. I know that when I've been here and worked around folks that have had disabilities, it is amazing. Like you said, man, the commitment and the focus and the attention to detail. And I think it helps. I know that I've been able to, through COVID, learn to give a little more grace than maybe I had in the past, right? And to be aware of things, but to be able to see how Bobby Dodd stays on his mission to help folks with disabilities of all kinds, and it can be small, it can be visible or not visible. That was a piece that I hadn't thought about, but it's really cool to be able to see somebody having such success, and a little bit about some of the tools that you guys provide here as you help do placements, you help make the transition, make sure that people get connected to the right programs that are available. The job placement piece is obviously a big piece. But what are some of the other things? I think you mentioned soft skills and do some training kind of in the soft skills side of the world. What's that? What do you find in that area?
Well, our main goal is to set people up for success, and workforce development and placing people in jobs is not just about helping them fill out an application and hopefully they get hired.
A lot more than that.
And then hopefully they get hired, and then when they get hired, they just get dropped off on the employer's doorstep, right? That's never going to lead to a high success rate, and that's never going to lead to good partnerships for us, and it's not beneficial for us or the community that we serve. So, we like to start at the beginning, and for us to make a solid placement or a solid recommendation for employment, we need to understand what the individual is capable of. And like we discussed, everyone's capable of anything, a whole wide range of things. So a warehouse job might be more applicable to somebody, to person A, but maybe not to person B. Maybe they're more suited to customer service or hospitality or computers or something like that. So, we do a whole assessment period. Well, they'll work at our job sites. We'll do some computer assessments to find out where their interests are. We'll also sit down and do some soft skills training, so how they speak, how they dress, how they interview, and we coach them through all of those different situations so that when the opportunity arises for employment, they're not only do they have the job skills, but they also have the people skills to be able to succeed and hopefully be able to take it to the next level. We talk about, just to go back to a couple points we made earlier about kind of the culture it creates in an organization. People with disabilities, you're talking about an 85 to 87% retention rate.
Wow.
So when they are on board and they are appreciated and they are valued by their employer, you have an employee for life. And they are the most loyal group, and they will be there for you when you need them the most. And one of the barriers that is been forced to overcome is, employers sometimes look at people with disabilities as well, have to make thousands of dollars of accommodations and changes, and what we found is it's usually less than $500.
Really?
So if you look at the turnover rate maybe for a job you would typically hire for, and all of the HR stuff that goes into it, sorry, there's a little fly right there, and the expense that's associated with that, to spend $500 on accommodation seems like a pretty big financial win for an organization to hire
Absolutely.
someone. And a lot of times accommodations aren't even needed. So you get all that benefit for no money whatsoever.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah. That's cool. Well, so how would people get involved? I know that there's manufacturing, right now, as I've been going around the state talking to manufacturers all around the state, workforce is a big issue, man. I mean, It's like, so we're really, every manufacturer that I've talked to said that they got machines sitting idle because they can't find people to fill the roles.
Yeah.
And there's some things that they might could outsource outside of their facility that would free up some of that labor. So what are some of the things that you would encourage some of our listeners to think about using the services that you guys provide here?
And we can help in a couple different areas when it comes to that. Number one is our placement services. So if you're hiring for a position that you might be struggling with, you can always reach out to me or go to our website, and it'll guide you in the right direction for employment services. There's also, if there's work that you're looking to outsource, you can also contact me.
Nice.
And go right through our warehouse services for any kitting, fulfillment work. And with the current labor market, wage rates have increased, workers are scarce, and it's across the board. It's not industry specific. It's everybody right now is dealing with that. So sometimes it's cheaper to outsource this work, and we have a warehouse full of about 15 people that can do kitting, fulfillment, provide quotes, and fast turnaround times. Not just now while everyone's catching up, but down the line. We have a track history of quality work out of our kitting and fulfillment side of things.
Perfect. Yeah, we got to see some of that the fulfillment part today, and also some of the labor, the hands-on labor. Is really neat to see how you can be able to ramp up and do a short-term project. You can do project-based things, as well as long-term, so you got full-time placement for long-term placement, but you guys have got the space, the warehouse, the people to be able to do short-run for small project-based things as well. So,
and companies that work with us with any of our projects, but specifically for this, find such value knowing that it's people with disabilities and differing abilities that are working on the project, and that it's serving a greater good than just kind of a turn and burn 2-week project. You're able, the social impact, the community impact, it goes far beyond just the actual 2 or 3 weeks worth of work. So that's where the value really is, and when we're able to actually then take those people and place them into other organizations, it really comes full circle in that regard.
Yeah, one of the things that some of the guests mentioned during our tour today was, man, they were just fascinated to see how much more the capabilities were once they were able to walk through the facility. Mm-hmm. Now, we are in summertime. We got a lot. I had tons of people call me and said that they really wanted to come out today and visit, but due to vacation and a variety of different things, they weren't able to join us. So we hope that we'll be able to come back out maybe in the fall and bring a bigger crowd, let folks know and learn a little bit more about that, if that'd be okay. And that way, because I think when you walk through this facility and you see the people, then you see the capabilities, man, it changes the game. It's not something that you could put on a brochure and tell the story.
Yeah, it is. And absolutely, we would love to have GMA here at any point. And I got the same feedback from some people who are out of town, of our GMA friends, and on vacation this week, which is understandable. But we'll definitely would love to have another event here down towards the fall. And I'm excited for it.
Very cool, very cool. Well, man, it has been a blast hanging out with you today, getting to pick your brain a little bit, learn a little bit more about what you're doing. I do want to do one more just quick shameless plug. If you have not already got your copy of Manufacturing Success in Georgia, my buddy Nathan McGill told me that I got to make sure I mention this on every podcast and everything. But go to Manufacturing Success in Georgia. You can order the book, learn a little bit more about the tour that we've been on. We just posted the videos of the interviews we've done up to this point. So I'd really encourage you to go in and check out some of those videos. This video will be posted within the next day or two on that site as well. We've got a variety of other facilities that we'll be touring throughout the balance of June and all of July. And we're out to try to figure out ways that we can bring more awareness to manufacturing. And there's a ton of people right now that are in transition. People are looking to get back into the get back into the employment space, and we want to attract as many people into manufacturing as we can. So that's one of the reasons we're doing this tour right now. Again, Joe, I am really appreciate your time today and being a part of this. One of the main reasons that we stopped by to talk to you specifically, again, was because you contributed an article that's included in the book. So chapter 11, we're not going to leak any of the secrets or tell the story that he shared with us about their company and COVID, but you got to read it for yourself. Now, we are going to do and provide a bonus video just for people that own the book. So if you own the book, you can send an email to support@Georgia Manufacturing and say bonus video in the subject line, and we'll send you a link to a bonus video where myself and my co-author, Diane Dent Wilcox, kind of tell the backstory behind the book. It's pretty intriguing. There's a lot more to it than just writing a book. I shared a little bit with Joe and the team today, but I'd encourage you to go get that. But this is a great way for you to learn about manufacturing all the way from Eli Whitney and the cotton gin to the latest and greatest Gulfstream 700, and from Ford and the Model T that was made here in Atlanta, up to the latest Kia Telluride that's made over in LaGrange, Georgia. So, guys, it's a really cool book. You'll learn a lot about history and the manufacturing space. So we'd encourage you to plug into that. But also, take a look one more time and tell us the website where they can learn about the hand sanitizer.
Yeah, sanitizewithpurpose.org. Or also our Bobby Dodd Institute website as well.
Fantastic. Well, with that, guys, we're going to sign off. It has been another great day at GMA. We'll look forward to seeing you at our next tour.